Hey, it's Shelly Sells Lemonade. It's really just Shelly. And I wanted to show you how to make a pom pom. There's the finished product. And I want to make a pom pom that is going to coordinate with this fern here. So this fern was created with these two colors, a pink and a peach. And I want it to be slightly more peach than pink. So I'm using one full skein of the peach and an extra half a skein, an extra 3 strands. So that's 9 strands of peach plus just 3 strands of pink. And that's going to give me a mostly peach with a hint of pink pom pom. The first one I did was a little bit more 50-50. So this one I want more on the peach side. So you can use obviously any colors you want. You can do it any size you want. I want these relatively small, so I'm wrapping them around my finger, only one finger, and then rolling it off and pinching it in the middle. And this is where you're going to tie it. So before you get started, you want to have a little slip of something to tie it with so that you don't have to drop it. And you want to get it right in the middle, and then this is where it helps to have an extra set of hands. Pull it tight. Sorry, it's going off camera there. Okay, so that's one. It's not quite a knot yet, but at least I've got it. And it does look like it's in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and try that again. Two. And just to be safe, actually let's take a look. I think I'm going to wind up trimming this a lot, so I have more than enough. But if it's not quite in the middle, you can still pull your tying knot a little bit to either end. I like to do everything a little extra secure, so I'm going to tie this one more time. This is for sure overkill, but that's how I do things. Okay, so now it's definitely not going anywhere. Now for the fun part. You need pointy snips for this. And you're just going to cut either end to get your basic pom-pom shape started. And then you're going to shape it. I want this considerably smaller, so I'm going to trim off a good amount. And I want it to look like a ball, so I'm going to trim it in sort of a semicircle shape. Give it a little haircut here. Snip off these ends of the string I use, the floss I use to tie it with. And then this side, again, give it a little trim in the general shape of it'll be a circle. The trimming doesn't need to be perfect because you're going to fluff it out. Okay, so this is probably still a little too big. Oh, and here's where you'll find out too, where you've missed a couple of the inner wrapping pieces of floss. Okay, now you're going to fluff it. A needle works really well for this, which I can't see right now. I'll just grab another one. This is how you lose needles. Oh, there it is. So you're just going to go in and fluff it up a little bit. And you can continue to fluff it after you've got it anchored to your piece. But this will definitely get your correct shape going. And then you'll find too, sometimes you haven't snipped a loop, and you can go back in and snip it again. Or if you've got some extra long ones hanging out, you can trim them now. Okay, so that's pretty much pom-pommy. I find it easier to shape it once it's on the piece because there's something more to anchor it. I don't want to pull too hard because you'll wind up pulling the little bits of floss out of what they're tied to. So that's probably good. As long as you get the right size, you can do the rest of the fluffing and the shaping on your piece. This is still too big, so I'm going to go back to my original kind of bow tie shape and trim it a little bit more. I want these smaller. I don't want these to be the main focus of this piece. But what's fun about making your own pom-poms is that you can use any colors that are in your embroidery and create your own custom pom-pom. I feel like that this needs a little more of the shot of pink and peach. And then when you go to anchor it, you can do a couple things. You can either stitch around that right there, or you can turn it on its side. This is kind of how I usually do it, and stitch it like that. So that's making a pom-pom.